Muddy hands break through the chains, go free me. Looking for change, looking for pain, pulling a mob, pushing a train. I'll never stop, stick to a lane, pick up the pieces and go rearrange. I'll be the best above all the rest, put me to the test and expect nothing less, your check is I'm chess, what's happening next? You got the venom, a tangible weapon, no coming in second.
Hello everyone, this is the Honda Civic RS. We're here to find out if it's better than its German rivals.
Redemption, just kill no discretion, your mind is a weapon. 11-11, it's time for progression. Could try to play, but you're never gonna beat me.
Okay guys, we are now inside the Civic RS. Don't mistake it for the Type R, as it is actually quite similar inside, which is actually quite pleasing. You don't, or in a way it could be quite pleasing for the Civic RS driver, but for the Type R driver maybe you'd want something a bit more over the top, in which we did state in the previous video. You guys can go watch it, we'll leave a link down below to go check that RS out. We will be driving it. We said in the previous video that we might be, and we were corrected and told that we will be driving this, and we might have a pleasant surprise for you later on in this video or in another video, but we'll get back to that soon. So starting off in the front of the car here, in the driver's side, we've got obviously your full digital display here. Obviously going up to 260, you can see there's not many kilometers on this car. It's a brand new car, and I like to start by saying the steering wheel is very similar styled to the Civic RS, or Civic Type R I should say, other than this being leather and not Alcantara, but it does feel very nice. You've got some flappy pedals over here. They are plasticky, but they're not sounding too bad, so they are not too bad. Not much you can ask for. You are still in a Civic. It's not something super premium, something you're going to be racing around, and this is a CVT, which you will be getting to in the near future. And so you've got all these displays, everything's quite nice in here. On the sides you've got some really nice soft touch going along all the way, same with on the dash here, some more nice soft touch. You've got some nice leathery feeling soft touch over here with some really nice red stitching to set it apart from the standard Civics. A lot of features on the sides here, some nice vents, also don't feel too bad, they are of good quality. And now coming to the seats, you actually do have a bit of Alcantara over here with some nice leather and some really nice red stitching and red undertone over here to match the entire exterior of the RS styling. You're getting that really nice red finishing around the car to separate you from the standard Civics. The seats are very comfortable. There is a lot of headroom, and yeah, from this side there's not much you can complain about. And then on the infotainment system, it seems to be very smooth, actually in some ways even smoother than that of the Civic Type R that we were reviewing not too long ago. It seems like it's still a good system. You've got your manual buttons over here as well as a touchscreen, and then everything works quite well. You've got your Bluetooth, got all your connectivities, navigation, calling, all of those systems are available in the RS, and you can see it is quite responsive, not too laggy, not as good as what you can get from those from the Germans, but is quite a good system to have inside here. Nothing to really complain about, no downfall with the system. Then again, yeah, these are really nice feeling, and these actually remind me a lot of what is inside of the Civic Type R. This is the main difference now. You have an automatic gearbox in here. So in the Civic Type R you do have a manual, and in this you do have a CVT, which we have been told is a much nicer CVT than usual. For those of you who know what CVTs are like, CVTs can be a bit funny to drive with. They can be nice daily drivers, but if you want any sort of performance out of a car with a CVT is a big ask. So we will get to that in future. Okay guys, now we are at the powerhouse of the Honda Civic RS, and I'd just like to start quickly with a point on the naming. When you hear RS, you think of the top of the line, you think of the top rank, but in actuality with Honda it is the Type R, which to me gives it a bit of a naming issue because you can get a bit confused. Oftentimes Eugene and I want to say Civic Type R when you're talking about this car, but it is a Civic RS, so don't get that confused. This does have a slightly smaller engine, less power, less torque. Obviously it isn't the top of the line motor or top of the line of the range. It does have an inline-4 turbocharged motor making 131 kilowatts and 240 newton meters of torque. It is front-wheel drive, and it has a CVT gearbox, which actually is quite nice for everyday driving. You've got good power, good torque, good handling, obviously coming from Honda. You know this handles good. It is a Honda Civic at the end of the day, and it is more or less based off something like the Type R, which means it does handle like an absolute beast. Now, talking about its competitors, you can compare this against a BMW 320i or Mercedes C200 or even an A4 35. They all have around the same power, around the 130 kilowatt range, and interior wise, this isn't far off its German competitors. In terms of a Toyota Corolla though, there is no real engine that matches this, and I'd say, in terms of my opinion, the best competitor, although this is slightly slower, is the Hyundai Elantra N-Line. Because this is the RS and there still is a Type R, the N-Line still has the Elantra N. So the N-Line has 150 kilowatts and slightly more torque, but in overall comparability, this is on the same terms. And I will say, to me, this seems better than that of the Corolla. I would choose this over the Elantra, and I might even choose this over something like a 320i or C200, just depending on the specs.
Okay guys, so as you can see, we're actually driving the Civic RS right now. So it's very nice, it's very comfortable. We're starting off in normal mode. It is so comfortable in here. I mean, you know, the right now the automatic not cruise control, but well, yeah, cruise control was actually keeping me in line, so it actually just stepped out and it pushed me back into it. So very nice, very calm, very quiet. I actually opened the sunroof because, well, it's a beautiful day and I don't want to ruin it. It's just so beautiful in here. It's so spectacular. The materials, we've already spoken about it, is so amazing. It's so amazing. I mean, you know, considering Honda is, well, has always been like the premium version of like Toyota, it's so much more nice, and I can see why someone would pay a bit more for this Honda than, you know, even your equivalent Corolla. It's so nice in here. And it moves. It's very quick. It's like, don't think like 130 kilowatts in this little car is not fast, because it's definitely fast. It's very, very, very fast. Well, let me not say very, very, very fast, but quick enough to the point where, like, okay, I need to probably watch the speedo so that I don't get pulled over by the cops. It's very nice in here. Oh, I don't know how many times I'm gonna say it. And the brakes just grab you so hard. I mean, I'm barely even pressing on it and we're already coming to a stop. That's very nice. As I can see in my rear view mirror, there is an RS5, and I'm not going to try and race him, but yeah, and it's actually showed the vehicle detected in front of me and behind me. So actually, the thing is with this car, it has a CVT, and now I've never driven a CVT, and I gotta say, this is amazing. It is amazing. I've never driven a car, and that actually shows what's on your left side. So it's like your blind spot, but now it's even upgraded where you have a camera on your mirror so that you can see who's really coming up against you. So if I actually do it again, you can see right there. That's really cool, really nice. Oh, this is such a pleasant drive. And the brakes, I can't get over the brakes. They are amazing. It is amazing in here. It is just amazing. Whew, 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 whew. My heart is pounding a bit, but it's really nice in here. That's really cool. And the S5, sorry, it's an S5. Forgot to point out, it's actually an S5. It's really nice. And it pulls away so smoothly, so softly. And it's quick. It's quick. It's definitely quick. Now for sure it's quick. It is quick. Oh. And the ride, you know, I can't get over the ride. It's very nice. So let me actually point it into sport mode now. Wow. It's pretty nice. Pretty nice.
And then guys, just to add from our point of view in the passenger side, driving along here, the car handles solid. Just from being in the passenger side, you feel safe in it, you feel secure in the seats hug you tightly, and it's just a very comfortable experience to be in. The car does not disappoint. It really even goes above the standards of what my thoughts were about the driving experience of the car. And obviously it reacts quite quickly, being an automatic, being a CVT, but it actually doesn't feel from the passenger side like a regular CVT does. Everything's good inside. As we close the windows, you can actually see how much sound system is in here and sound protection from the outside noises there are. So it actually is very quiet inside there. You can hear yourself really nicely. There's not many outside noises other than a bit of a throaty noise from the engine actually, which is actually a very nice sound. It's a nice deep throaty tone that this engine creates. And again, just showcasing this, and as they would like to show, there's actually a little display there to show when you're pressing brakes, when you're pressing indicators, and there's a little car display on the actual digital display that shows you all of this, as well as the advanced features with the cameras on the side and the nice finishing inside. It is just a very, very pleasant drive inside of here.
Oh, I can't get over this ride. It's so amazing, so, you know, manageable. It's so manageable in here, and it's definitely quick. You know, I'm barely feeling any turbo lag at all. You know, modern cars have really gotten to that point where you don't even think like there's even a turbo at all. So it's very, you know, surprising. It's very shocking, because you expect, like, you know, with a turbo to be, you know, flooring it and then waiting for that like 2-second delay or 3-second delay, and then it's like, nope, we're done. But now this car really moves. Oh.
Okay guys, now we're going to explore a bit more of a bumpy, not so smooth road to experience what the Civic RS feels like over these types of terrains. And starting off, it's actually super comfortable. The suspension, we have it in normal mode at the moment, so not so sporty, not so rigid, but it's very comfortable along these roads. You don't feel much of the bumps, there's not much noise outside, and everything's just smooth and controlled. The steering is very light but very controlled at the same time, and the motor delivers well. From experience, I will get to that in a little bit now, with the gearbox. Actually, this is a CVT as mentioned, but this does not drive like a pure CVT from the likes of Honda, Haval, or so on. And now we can just look past there. We do have Tabello Cars. A quick shout out to them, but mainly I'd like to have a shout out for Honda there in Sandton, just to thank them once again for this experience that they are allowing us to have. And we will get to a little bit more of an opening up over here, so I can tell you guys a bit about the CVT gearbox. We're getting down to the straights, now onto some smoother roads. We'll put it into sport quickly, just to give you guys a little bit of an experience. We're not going to do a hard pull or anything, but just so you guys can experience the sounds and the feeling almost of what this car is like from a dig with the CVT gearbox. It really does set itself apart from everything else that I have experienced in terms of CVT, from Honda, from Haval, and yeah, it is just a really lovely experience. It drives so smoothly, it's very comfortable on this side, and I know it's comfortable on the passenger side, and Eugene will explain that to you as well from his perspective. But let's do a slight pull here. The car gets going really well, holds its gear really well as well, and it's not like your standard CVTs that you can just go out and get from like a Val. Those generally seem to hold the gears a lot more. They're a lot rougher on the gearbox, if you could say that. They're not so much controlled as what this car feels to be with this CVT gearbox, and we were told about this, and so it is really fun to actually experience it, especially from my side. As I said multiple times now, we have driven the CVT, or I have driven a CVT quite often, so being able to experience this CVT really helps a lot. This car, as Eugene did mention, does have some really outstanding brakes. I'm not even applying 20% pressure, and you come to a very subtle stop, but it's very comfortable in everything you do. When you stop, it's comfortable. When you accelerate, it's comfortable. When you steer or turn, it's comfortable. It's got a very solid handling, very quick, easy to do, something that you don't find in many cars. A lot of these Corollas, obviously they have changed, they've become a lot nicer to drive of later, but I still say this is a better drive than that from what I have experienced.
And to add on to that, I just wanted to say on our final thoughts, this car is amazing. I mean, the technology is outstanding. It's probably a bit more than even a Corolla or maybe even some of the Korean counterparts. It's really nice in here. This this headrest, I literally put it on right now while I put my head back, and it felt like a sponge. I was like soaking into it, so it's so comfortable. Going on a journey in this car would be amazing. So again, we would like to shout out Honda Sandton again for allowing us to actually drive this amazing car. And well, thank you guys again for watching, because of you we get to do things like this. So thanks again. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and well, we'll see you later.
And
Bye-bye.
just to add one more thing, guys, keep it installed, keep waiting, subscribe, like, comment, do all of that, because if you don't want to miss what's coming up from Honda themselves as well in the next few weeks, you better keep yourself up to date with us. Have a good rest of your day, guys.
Bye bye.